What's up? What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the True Heel Nation. This is your good brother J News with another edition of J News Japan G1 Climax 30 Tournament Night 11 A Block Action, live from Hiroshima Sun Plaza Hall in Hiroshima, Japan. Attendance 1,430 for the night of October 7th, 2020. We have the first match of the night as per the usual. 15-minute time limit between two young lions, Yota Tsuji and Gabriel Kidd, going head to head once again. Another match coming after their 15-minute time limit draw from last time, which was an impeccable matchup. This match was basically set to fire up and set off the crowd. These two young men came in hot, blow for blow, ready to go. Just high impact maneuver after high impact maneuver, trying to see who can beat who the quickest, basically, in a sense. And after all was said and done, after a 6 minute and 43-second match, Yota Tsuji was able to get the upper hand and beat Gabriel Kidd here with the Boston Crab. That Boston Crab got a little bit more crank than usual, and Gabe tapped right away. Nothing specifically that I would have to say here that I saw visually in the match or characteristically in the match from either guy. Just more of a fast-paced, high-impact back and forth to see who would get the quick win first, and it was Yota Tsuji who ended up on the winner's side. To A Block Action, first match of the night. I'd have to say this is probably my second favorite night out of all the nights in the A Block, because all the matches were really, really good. I do have some downside, my personal opinion, folks. Don't take everything that I say as gospel, obviously. But we'll get there when we get there. Tomohiro Ishii of Chaos versus Yujiro Takahashi of the Bullet Club. 15 minutes and 25 seconds worth of a match that I thought, I usually sit here and I watch Yujiro Takahashi matches and I say to myself, all right, how is this going to finish? How is his style going to disappoint me this time? How boring is this match going to be? There was none of that here. Yujiro brought the fight to Tomohiro Ishii, especially after the last match that Ishii had. Yujiro bought it. Yujiro was incensed in this match. He was on fire. He had that spirit about him, where he wanted to win this match, and it looked like he would win this match a couple of times in this match, which is something that I saw for the first time throughout any of his matches in this tournament. So I was glad to see that. And like I said, it was a back and forth. I would say it was a medium paced match. It wasn't high paced, but it wasn't high paced or fast paced. But at the same time, it wasn't a methodical or slow match either. Yujiro Takahashi was able to have the upper hand throughout the majority of the match, I want to say, because he did start the match hot. He attacked Tomohiro Ishii before the bell even rung, didn't even let Ishii take his shirt off and stuff like that, attacking Ishii's arm and things of that nature. So Tomohiro Ishii was in a bad ways throughout this match, and I want to say Yujiro did a good job, and Tomohiro Ishii did an excellent job of selling his injury. But at the end of it all, even after the dominance of Yujiro Takahashi throughout the match here and placing that injury on Ishii's arm, Ishii was able to overcome, set up his offense as he usually does, and hit the vertical drop brainbuster and get the win. So after this, we have Tomohiro Ishii, 3 wins, 3 losses. He's even, 6 points. Yujiro Takahashi, no wins, 6 losses, 0 points. Third match of the night, continuation here. A Block Action. Kazuchika, Okada the Rainmaker himself, versus Jeff Cobb. Alright, so I want to start this off by saying, right, that this match, to me, was really good and positioned Jeff Cobb well, right? When I say that, I mean Jeff Cobb looked like he was prime to beat Kazuchika Okada in this match. Okada didn't necessarily look like his grandiose self, because Jeff Cobb got off all of his offense, all of the power game. Blessed be the power game. Um, he, Jeff Cobb looked dope in this match. Just to say that, Okada's no slouch ever, right? But for Okada to let Jeff Cobb do what he did in this match, only 11 minutes and 3 seconds. Jeff Cobb basically manhandled Okada, and Okada is like, I don't know, 220, 230, and Jeff Cobb manhandled his ass, man, just like being able to throw him around and transition him into different moves while he's carrying him and stuff like that, and the different suplexes and slams that Jeff Cobb does within his offensive arsenal and stuff like that. Man, I felt like he had Okada beat the majority of the match, but Okada did get in his usual patented Okada offense. But I don't feel like it was a match for Jeff Cobb. I'll stop there. Result is Kazuchika Okada, even after Jeff Cobb tried to hit Okada with a Tour of the Islands, he was able to reverse the Tour of the Islands and turn it into a roll-up pinfall not roll-up, but he was able to turn it into a pinfall victory, where he was basically able to latch on to the legs of Jeff Cobb while his knees were on top of Jeff Cobb's shoulders, and get the 3 count. That was a surprising way for Okada to get the win in this match, after how well and how good Jeff Cobb looked in this match. The surprise pinfall victory here, it allows Okada to go 4 wins, 2 losses, 8 points. Jeff Cobb 2 wins, 4 losses, 4 points. I am usually not a fan of that sort of I'm not a fan of that sort of finish, because I feel like it's anticlimactic, and yet again, in the same vein as Jeff Cobb's match versus Kota Ibushi, where I felt it was too short and it just ended abruptly. I felt the same thing here, and me saying that this was a trend for 3 matches in a row, and I was disappointed in that, even though the show is my second favorite show out of all the nights that have been on so far. 4th match of the night, Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin, went up against the evil grandfather here, Minoru Suzuki. 52-year-old Minoru Suzuki. Will Ospreay cut a little promo after his match with Ibushi from night 9, where he basically said, "Oh, he's my dad's age. I can beat up my dad. Yeah, I can beat up my dad." So it was a running joke that Will Ospreay said he just had to think about Minoru Suzuki like he was his dad, because he knew he could beat up his dad. But 14 minutes, 26 seconds. Good back and forth. Will Ospreay showing off his talents and his ability to sell an injury during this match. I legit thought Will Ospreay was hurt. I think 3/4 into the match, I was like, dude, that dude's elbow is fucked up. I was like, there's just no way he can survive this. Like, just the mere sense that Minoru Suzuki was able to put on a Fujiwara armbar like 3 or 4 different times during the match, and then at one point he was able to straddle one of the ring posts and still do a regular armbar submission through the post with Will Ospreay's arm an elbow point against the post to hyperextend it and stuff like that. I thought that was brutal as hell to see that. I don't recall ever seeing that before. I would say it's my first time seeing that maneuver put on another competitor and stuff like that. I was like, man, and I have just finished watching a really brutal match earlier in the night on AEW Dynamite. Dog collar matches aren't for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just leave that at that. But man, this match was everything that I thought it was going to be. Minoru Suzuki basically had the essence and the fire of of making sure that he made Will Ospreay aware that he's still the young boy. He called them a boy a few different times, and he hit him with those elbows and those forearms, and Will Ospreay went down to a knee, because you still can't hang with Minoru Suzuki, even though Will Ospreay does hit hard in his respective matches. But I would say that this match went off without a hitch. It was a really, really good match. But yet again, even towards the end of the match here, Minoru Suzuki did have the upper hand. He did have Will Ospreay mostly injured for that match with that elbow injury. And then out of nowhere, Will Ospreay was able to get off a good sequence of offense and then hit the Stormbreaker one time and get the pinfall on Minoru Suzuki. So 4 wins, 2 losses, 8 points for Will Ospreay. 3 wins, 3 losses, 6 points for Minoru Suzuki on the loss. Yet again, I would say, because of the way that the sequence developed, and it happened right away, like an RKO out of nowhere, I felt like it was. I also felt like it was sort of anticlimactic. There was no build to the finish. It just happened. So, like I said, very, very good match to watch. It was just like, oh, okay, so Stormbreaker wins the match. And it wasn't like Will had knocked out Minoru Suzuki with a hidden blade or anything like that. Like, no, it was just a transition from one move to another. Then he hit the Stormbreaker, and that was it. So I thought that was like okay, all right, cool. So Will moves on. 5th match of the night, yet again, another match where Tai Chi proves again that he can hang with the main event runners. He played Jay White's game to perfection. They both started the match by leaving the ring, rolling under the bottom rope, and just walking around the ring area. They were being coy with one another and playing playing mind games with one another and being coy within that set. The first I would say 2 to 3 minutes of the match. The match ran 15 minutes and 16 seconds versus the Suzuki-gun member and the Bullet Club leader here, and we got a awesome contest between 2 of the best heels in the company. Tai Chi did not let Gato get in his way. He was able to neutralize Gato at all corners, at all turns. And Jay White and Tai Chi just went at it as much as they could. Reversal after reversal, hit after hit, kick after kick, knee to the gut after knee to the gut. But eventually, Jay White was able to get the upper hand. And out of nowhere, yet again, Tai Chi, I believe, was going for Black Mephisto. And then from there, Jay White was able to squirm out of Black Mephisto and then attempt to send Tai Chi to the ropes. But he kept that wrist control strapped on that Blade Runner and got him right off the bat. So another quick finisher at the end of the match to win the match. So here we have Jay White winning the match. 4 wins, 2 losses, 8 points. Tai Chi, he's even as well. 3 wins, 3 losses, and 6 points on the loss. Main event time. What can I say, y'all? SP3 said it best. This is a first time ever match between Kota Ibushi and the Rampage Dragon Shingo Takagi, and it fucking delivered. I think the easiest way to say this, right? There's some times where you watch wrestling matches and there's lulls in wrestling matches, and you take your eye off of a wrestling match from time to time, and then you're able to pick it back up, right? And then say, oh, it was a decent match by the end of the match or whatever the case is. With the Kota Ibushi versus Shingo Takagi match, you could not take your eyes off the match or you would miss something. And there was nothing that was transitional about any of the maneuvers. There wasn't anything where they were doing rest holds. It was like shot for shot, offense for offense between Kota Ibushi and Shingo Takagi. It was, you either watch the entire match or you miss something big. And I was glued to my TV all 21 minutes and 56 seconds of it. This was the best match of the night, one of the best matches of the G1 Climax 30 tournament. so far on the 11th night. There's gotta be more to come. I believe there's 11 days left until the finals for the tournament. Man, yo, like Kota Ibushi and Shingo Takagi going blow for blow, like, and, Ibushi hits hard, like kicks, forearms, elbows, whatever, and Takagi was eating that stuff, and he was serving it to Ibushi, and Ibushi was selling it, right, and then after a while, then Ibushi was no selling some of the stuff and stuff like that, and yeah, look, listen, you guys gotta watch this stuff. I can never really describe it and explain it in the best possible and most descriptive manner verbally. Just go on to NewJapanWorld.com. Night 11 from Hiroshima, October 7th show. Kota Ibushi, Shingo Takagi. Check that match out. It did not disappoint. At the end of it all, Kota Ibushi towards the final sequence went for the Bumaye, the either known as the Kinshasa, and he hit it on Takagi, but Takagi was able to overcome it, warriored up, and hit Ibushi with a quick right hand, picked him up, hit him with the last of the dragon. I thought at that point in time, and I knew the match was already over the 20-minute mark. I felt at that point, I was like, okay, I'll be content with the win here, but this could go on for another 5 to 7 minutes. But alas, like the other two matches before this, Shingo Takagi hits his finisher one time. He gets the 3 count. Takagi gets the win here. 3 wins, 3 losses, 6 points for Takagi. 4 wins, 2 losses, 8 points for Ibushi. After this fantastic match in night 11 of the G1. So, to give you guys the updated leaderboard standings, after night 11 in the A block, we have Kota Ibushi with 8 points. We also have Will Ospreay with 8 points, and we have Jay White with 8 points, and we also have Kazuchika Okada with 8 points. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie at the top of this particular block, and then after that, everyone else is tied except for Yujiro Takahashi, who's at the bottom with 0 points. We have Tomohiro Ishii with 6 points. We have Shingo Takagi with 6 points. We have Tai Chi with 6 points, and Minoru Suzuki with 6 points. And to round out the bottom of the tournament, Jeff Cobb has 4 points, and then Yujiro Takahashi has 0 points. So obviously at this point, we know Jeff Cobb and Takahashi, with a couple of nights left, probably are not going to win this tournament. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 10 participants in this block who are still in this to win this. So right now, calling the A block is not an easy task. So we will talk about the preview for night 12, which is B block action. B block action, which will continue tomorrow night on October 8th. This will be in Okayama, and we have Yoshihashi versus his never open weight tag 6-man tag partner, Hiroki Goto. To start off the night, we have Toru Yano versus Zack Sabre Jr. We have Kenta versus Sonata. I'm looking forward to that. Tetsuya Naito versus Juice Robinson. And the main event is going to be Evil versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. That is the B block action that will go down on October 8th, 2020, live from Okayama. I'll be covering that, and you guys stay tuned. Make sure to keep it locked, because I'm going to transition into night 12 in just a few seconds. Oh man, night 12 is among us right now. G1 Climax 30 tournament, October 8th, 2020, live from Okayama, the Zip Arena Okayama. Attendance 1,477. There to watch it live. Night 12, B block action. Ladies and gents, as we started off as usual, Young Lion competition. Yuya Uemura versus Gabriel Kidd, 1-on-1. 8 minutes, 47 seconds of Gabriel Kidd and Yuya Uemura just taking it to one another. The beginning of the match, I would want to say, the first opening sequence looked a lot like their opening sequence from their 15-minute time limit draw. But as the match did go on, after about the third or fourth minute of the match, they started competing a little bit more heavily, heavier strikes in that strong style, format, and with that warrior spirit, with that snug work, as they like to say in the business. Gabriel Kidd and Yuya Uemura were taking it to one another in that realm. They were also doing some good chain reversal and mat wrestling to start the match as well. Yet again, like I said, it was basically a copy of their opening offensive sequence from their 15-minute time limit draw from a couple of nights ago. In this one, the young lion, the foreigner, Gabriel Kidd, young Gabe, got the win here with a double arm suplex on Yuya Uemura. After a good showing for the both of those guys. I can't say good enough stuff about these young lions. I hope that in the near future, especially for the next tour, that they get some more of the young lions some work. At this point, travel restrictions around the world, I know some of them are a little lighter than others. So some of the guys that are over, that might be an excursion or might be stuck in the U.S., could get some work from a young lion standpoint, and just have more variety of matches with the young lions. Because not to say that the matches between Gabriel Kidd, Yuya Uemura, and Yota Tsuji are bad. It's just that at this point, they've exhausted every single pairing that they could have. So hopefully, there's definitely more young lions who are still wearing the black trunks and the black boots in those dojos. So they should be on their way coming soon in 2B block action. All right, folks. Like Tai Chi in the A block, Yoshihashi, to me, usually doesn't give us great matches. This match, 14 minutes, 12 seconds, versus his tag team partner and faction partner, or faction mate, should I say, Hiroki Goto. They started off the night very well here. I was into this match from beginning to end. There was a few times where I was basically talking to the TV and talking to Yoshihashi and saying, "Yoshihashi, don't you do it! Don't you freaking do it!" And he would attack Goto's arm and his injured right shoulder and things of that nature. Yoshihashi took it to Goto, man. That warrior spirit, that strong style was personified in this match between these two guys. Probably the best Yoshihashi match I've ever witnessed, and that's recency bias, because I've watched them for several years and don't remember anything this intense, this visceral in a sense, and this emotionally invoking, right? Because this is his tag partner, this is his faction mate. There's a backstory to these two guys, so it was really an interesting and good match to see. Dope way to start off the night. I believe at the end of it all, the one and only the samurai of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroki Goto, got the win, hitting the GTR on Yoshihashi. Hiroki Goto is now even, 3 wins, 3 losses, 6 points. Yoshihashi, 1 win, 5 losses, 2 points on the leaderboard. Second B block action match. This match was highly entertaining. I did not expect it to go as long as it did. Toru Yano versus Zack Sabre Jr. Folks, Toru Yano has an amateur wrestling background that he puts no use to due to his flavor and comedic stylings, and that's he plays his role and he plays it well. But in a pinch, if you need the man to wrestle, he can wrestle, and he proved that even in this. It was half a wrestling match, half a comedy match put together. Toru Yano able to hang with Zack Sabre Jr. on the mat, able to throw blows with Zack Sabre Jr., reversals out of Zack Sabre Jr.'s submission attempts. I would have never thought to see that from Toru Yano. Toru Yano also showing his experience in the ring, him being a ring general, always knowing where he is in the ring, being able to get out of certain holds and submissions by hanging on or putting his foot on the rope and stuff like that, not letting Zack Sabre Jr. Get too much of an advantage on him. Ultimately, Toru Yano still did his regular comedic bits with the turnbuckle pad and loads of tape coming out of all the crevices in his body, all the rows of tape that he basically flung out because he wanted to be a clean fighter in this match. But he was able to hang with Zack Sabre Jr., which surprised the hell out of me. Man, to see Toru Yano, and this might be like so trivial, but it's just because of the hilarity. To see Toru Yano apply a fireman's carry takeover on Zack Sabre Jr. was like the most unreal experience I've had watching one of his matches. I was like, and he did it to perfection, and I'm there like, why don't they let him wrestle? But like I said, he has his role in the company. He does what he's got to do. 12 minutes, 20 seconds. At the end of it all, Zack Sabre Jr. did get the win with a submission hold, the figure 4 heel hook. So Zack Sabre Jr. he's even as well. 3 wins, 3 losses, 6 points. Toru Yano with the loss, 3 wins, 3 losses, 6 points, as they are tied on the leaderboard. Fourth match of the night, I would have to say this, right? I never usually shit on my man Sanada's matches. I will not start now. But I expected more out of this match. For what it was and the time that they were given. 1, I expected it to be longer. 2, I expected it to be a little bit more on the strong style, hard hitting, intense, high impact side of things. Not so much of the counter versus counter, strike versus strike kind of a deal that they did in the 11 minutes and 24 seconds that they had the match. Kenta looked decent in the match. Sanada looked decent in the match. I never really say Sanada looks decent in the match. I usually say that he looks great or looks good. I would say this is probably one of his most, for both of them, especially athletes and wrestlers of their caliber. I thought, this is my personal opinion, I thought this was a rather pedestrian match. No doubt, my man Sanada got the win, so he's even. 3 wins, 3 losses, 6 points. Kenta, 2 wins, 4 losses, 2 points. Sanada was able to overcome Kenta's attempted use of his briefcase. He was able to use Kenta's briefcase against him by hitting him with a dropkick. And eventually Sanada was able to hit, or should I say apply, the O'Connor Bridge on Kenta for the pinfall victory. So yet again, Kenta, taking a loss, gains another potential future competitor for the IWGP US Heavyweight contract certificate. So we will see how that pans out. Alright, so if I had to rank matches for the night, this is 1, and the next match I'm about to talk about is my preferred match of the night, the top match of the night, and Yoshihashi versus Hiroki Goto is a close second. Juice Robinson versus Tetsuya Naito. 25 minutes, 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, Juice Robinson during this G1 has had a coming out party. The dude can hang. The dude is supremely talented in the ring, and he also knows how to use a term I heard last night. He also knows how to pander to the crowd. If y'all catch my drift, Juice is hella entertaining to watch, but he's also a very good and dynamic wrestler. You don't necessarily ever know what's coming. If you watch enough of Juice Robinson's matches to know, I think there's probably, if anything, 3 moves that I know for sure that he will always do. Everything else is always different from Juice. So that's always cool to see. I'm talking up Juice here because of his showing throughout his 6 matches so far in the G1. We know the double champ is the best at what he does currently. Tetsuya Naito is, without question, one of the best performers on the planet today. And Naito, when it comes to character work, is even better. I think this whole entire G1, outside of, no, not even outside of Sonata, right? Because he treated Sonata like a kid brother. Tetsuya Naito hasn't necessarily taken anyone very seriously. He's played around with folks. He's mocked them. He mocked Juice Robinson continuously throughout this match. Not taking anybody seriously. Not saying, basically saying none of these guys are on my level. And he proved that, even though Juice Robinson gave Tetsuya Naito one hell of a match, and Tetsuya Naito hit 3 different variations of Destino on Juice. He had to hit 2 Destinos back to back just to beat Juice in this match, in the final minutes of the match. Tetsuya Naito wins the match with Destino. Tetsuya Naito, the only competitor in either block, A or B, with 5 wins, 1 loss, 10 points for Naito atop the leaderboard. Juice Robinson falls even, 3 wins, 3 losses, 6 points after the loss here. The main event of the night was Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Evil of the Bullet Club. This match lasted 20 minutes. I understand the duration and length of the main events, the semi-main event, and everything else in between. Some matches, I feel they have to do better with the booking of the length of the matches with certain talent. I'm saying that because this was billed as the main event for this for night 12, and the main event was the semi-main event, and it happens from time to time, right? Where the second to last match is better than the last match, or whatever cases, or even the second match of the night is better than the main event that happened during the night. But you have the guy that you basically pushed to the moon earlier in this year in Evil, and you have the ace of the company, Hiroshi Tanahashi, here. Not to say that they had a bad match, 19 minutes and 58 seconds long, or whatever the case is, but it was heavily overbooked, as most Bullet Club featured matches are when someone flanks another member of the Bullet Club. In this particular situation, as we say here on True Heel Heat, Hiroshi Tanahashi was not able to overcome Evil Dick, and Evil gets the win here. 4 wins, 2 losses, 8 points for Evil, and Hiroshi Tanahashi falls even at 3 wins and 3 losses and 6 points in this main event match, as Evil defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi after interference of Dick Togo, obviously choking Tanahashi out. Basically, I think Red Shoes was distracted at a couple of different points during the match. Dick Togo also crotched Tanahashi off the top rope once, threw a chair at him during the final sequence of the match, Tana caught the chair, had to give it to the ref or whatever. Got up there. That's when Togo crotched him. Evil went up for the superplex, and then I believe Dick Togo then got the attention of Red Shoes again, and then Evil caught the attention of Red Shoes. Dick Togo comes in, basically grabs that steel cable thing that he always has with him, and choked out Tanahashi for a little bit there, to get him down to one knee. Evil was able to do a couple of more maneuvers, hit him with Darkness Falls. Tana was able to kick out of that. Another, I believe, lariat. He was able to kick out of that, but then finally, Tana tried to make a comeback with a couple of blows and a couple of elbows, but then Evil was able to put Everything Is Evil on Hiroshi Tanahashi and get the win here. So that's the way that particular match ended up. That was night 12. To give you a roundabout here as to how the B block looks right now. So atop the leaderboard, we have, as I said, with a 5-1 record in the B block, Tetsuya Naito with 10 points. With a 4-2 record, we have Evil coming up second with 8 points. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different competitors in a 10-person block with 6 points. Hiroshi Tanahashi, Juice Robinson, Hiroki Goto, Toru Yano, Sonata, and Zack Sabre Jr. all have 6 points. And then Kenta with 4, and Yoshihashi bringing up the rear with 2. So obviously Kenta and Yoshihashi, I would say, are probably out of it at this point. My man Sonata's still in it. I don't feel like Evil's going to win out with the rest of his matches. I think that the way I have it booked, where the B block final might look like it's going to be Kenta versus Evil if everything works out. Not Kenta, but Sonata versus Evil, if it works out to that particular way. But we will see as to how that comes about. So we have night 13 and night 14 previews coming for that ass. Night 13, here we go. That's A block action, which will take place in Osaka the final week of the G1 tournament. This will take place at the Edion Arena. This will take place in Osaka on Saturday, which is going to be October 10th. So first match is going to be Tomohiro Ishii versus Jeff Cobb, Jay White versus Yujiro Takahashi, Will Ospreay versus Tai Chi, Kota Ibushi versus Minoru Suzuki, and the main event is going to be Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi. That is night 13, which will take place on October 10th, which is this coming Saturday. And then it'll be at the Osaka Professional Gym, Edion Arena, Osaka. Then we've got night 14 preview. Night 14 preview is B block action. B block action is going to be the 7th match of the B block. So we will have the first match, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Yoshihashi, Kenta versus Toru Yano. We will have Juice Robinson versus Sonata, Hiroki Goto versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, and then the main event will be Tetsuya Naito versus Evil. That will take place at Aichi's Dolphins Arena for night 14. That will be on Sunday, October 11th, 2020. And we will be waiting for those matches to take place. And I will be here giving you the results, some descriptions, and more news to follow. Um, so, folks, as always, thank you very much for watching J News Japan. All these G1 Climax 30 reviews. As always, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Do me a big favor. Be good to one another. Take care of yourselves and stay safe out there. And as always, stay wrestling fans, folks. I'll see you on the next one. Saturday night, Sunday night. We'll bookend those two. All right? I'm about this. It's been your good brother J News. Peace.